Welcome to the Artist Academy podcast, the audio version of our Facebook Live series, Art Talk Tuesday. I'm your host, Andrea Earhart, and I am so excited that you're here to catch the weekly replay of my laid-back yet very inspiring conversations with other full-time professional artists. The purpose of this series is to show aspiring artists like you that it is completely possible to make a great career out of this art thing. And if you ever want to join us live and have your questions answered in real time by myself or featured guests, then just hop over to facebook.com/groups/Artist Academy every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll see you there. This episode is sponsored by the Artist Academy Advanced Membership, a program for artists who want to up-level their art game by taking it from a hobby or a side hustle to a full-time art business. I've been a professional artist for over 5 years with paintings in several different countries and a client list that includes high-profile companies such as Bass Pro, O'Reilly's, Duck Commander, and many, many more. So I figured out what it takes to build an art business, and now my heart is set on teaching aspiring artists like you to do the same. Go to advancedmember.com, that's advancedmember.com to learn more. Prepare to be inspired by this week's guest, Kassie Voisin. Kassie talks about how her overnight viral video jump-started her career as a muralist and the important tips and tricks she's picked up since getting that start. Towards the end of our chat, Kassie also gives us the story behind her Canvas for Kids project. I promise it will tug at your heartstrings, but don't just take my word for it. Take a listen for yourself.
Hi! How's it going?
I'm good. How are you? It's so
good. Oh, sorry.
No,
my dog is very nosy, so she'll be in and out of this.
Yeah, same. My cat is over there, and she's just dying to get in front of the camera anytime now.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I'm so excited that first off you joined the group. You posted photos of your murals, and I was like, I have got to get her on this Art Talk Tuesday because you're a full-time working artist, and I want to hear all about it. So if you want to just give us a little bit of a background of who you are, what you do, I personally want to know.
Awesome. So I heard you asking about my last name. So I'm from South Louisiana. So we say it Voisin.
Oh, okay.
But it sounds nothing like it's spelled. So a lot of people just say Voisin, and that's fine.
Okay. Yeah. I feel your pain on the last name thing. And mine's Earhart, and people it's all over the place.
Oh, so, yeah. People butcher it, but it's fine.
So it's Voisin.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, just make it
Sorry, the feed here is like a little bit delayed, so if I look crazy, because I'm like reading your lips and hearing it. Let me make sure that my Wi-Fi is good. Okay. So Kassie Voisin. I started a full-time mural company 5 years ago. Well, that's when I started my LLC. So that's kind of when I say that like I started full-time. I didn't go to college for it. I just love to paint. And when I graduated high school, I actually went into the medical field for 3 years and just decided that it just wasn't for me. I could not do a 9-to-5 job. Like, I feel like all of us creatives, like 9-to-5 just kills me. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I cannot. So, I started painting like bedroom murals and just like for friends, like fun little things, pretty much for free. I feel like that's how we all started out. And eventually it actually really what started it was I had a little GoPro that I would bring on my jobs for me because I had no idea what I was doing, like no art school whatsoever. I actually failed art in high school.
What? Wait,
yes.
we'll go back to that.
We'll go back to that. And I did a GoPro video just to watch myself and see like what I can improve on. And my husband was the one that was like, well, it would be cool, just post it and like show people that this is how you paint a mural. And it got 1 million hits on Facebook like overnight. Yeah,
what?
It was crazy. And now like I can't even look at the video because it's so terrible. Like this is just starting out. It was absolutely terrible, but it got a million like hits, and people from all over the country were writing me that night. Like we woke up to my phone blowing up. I mean, it was literally overnight. Like I had a
Wow.
business. Yeah.
That is
So
amazing. I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
Do you know how many painting videos I put up?
Oh,
That's
now
so
they do
cool.
not get that much. Like like you had talked about that with one of the interviews, like the things that you do that you would think would get a lot of hits don't get the hits.
Yeah.
And then the things that you're like, seriously, that's what got you. That's how that video was. So after that, it just kind of took off, and we've been on the journey ever since. And that's about it. I mean, it's been fun.
No, that's so cool. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I saw in your post you paint for mostly hospitals and or elementary schools maybe, and
yeah. So right now I started, like I said, with bedrooms, and I still do them every now and then, but I'm kind of going into a new season of like contracted work, where these hospitals and urgent cares and schools, they'll contract me out for like the whole year with probably every 3 months to go and do a mural. So for the urgent cares, it's actually 3 a month right now. So a lot of traveling, but that pretty much has me booked for the whole year right now. So
dang, good for you. That is so amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a lot, but it's so fun.
Yeah, oh yeah, it is. But so what areas are you traveling to mostly in, like,
so right
do you have
now,
like a certain region?
Right. So right now, most of them are in the Lafayette area. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. New Orleans, Lafayette area. It's about 5 hours away from me. And then I just took a job in Los Angeles. So I'll be flying to Los Angeles in a few weeks for that. So that's definitely the farthest I've ever gone for a job. I try to stay within like the 5 hour, because it's a lot of driving. It's a lot.
Yeah, that's so awesome. So do you bring your supplies with you, or do you get stuff there? I recently had someone ask me this question, and so.
Yeah, I try. Well, okay, so I have an SUV that like a small ladder will fit in, but if it's a big job, obviously I make sure that they have scaffolding and tall ladders, because it's just not going to happen. But everything else I bring with me. So all my paint supplies, tarps, I bring even bottles of water to like wash my paint in, just in case, because sometimes they're under construction, and I've been there where I had to go like find a hose pipe to clean my brushes because they didn't have water. So I try to bring everything with me.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's so cool. Okay, so we'll just dive into these questions. I have a list of questions that I sent to you, but it's just kind of just questions that I asked a little bit of everyone. So the first one you've kind of already answered, but it was what was the tipping point that took you from hobby to professional artist? So was it mainly that video that hit a million views, or how much were you painting before that?
I was actually painting on canvases, just like small commission orders, like little quotes or like nursery art and things like that. And I would actually bring it to work with me. I was a medical assistant, so I would bring the canvases with me and like hide them in the medical closet, and my customers would drive up and I'd like run out and bring them the orders. And eventually I was like, why am I still working here when like I had an awesome job? I loved it. But just when you're a creative person, you kind of just know that like it's just not going to be forever. And it wasn't really fulfilling my creative needs. So once I started making more money with the canvases than I was at work, that's kind of was my tipping point of like, I feel like I can do this, you know?
Yes.
So that's pretty much what did it. And then the video happened after my first mural after I quit my job. So like, it was like right away. Yeah, it was crazy.
Like the universe is like, here you go.
Yeah, just take it.
Yes, that's amazing. Okay. So what makes up your typical work day, and how many hours do you typically spend painting, like on an average?
Okay, so if I'm like, I call myself a full-time muralist because I don't really have time for canvases, so I'm not really home much to paint. So my typical day is driving like 3 to 5 hours, and then I work for about 12. Like usually I leave my house at like 4 in the morning and home at like midnight. That was this week. So it's a lot.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it's not every day, but.
Okay. Are you doing one whole mural in that 12 hours, or do you do separate trips, or? Yeah.
So like, well, the urgent cares in the hospitals are like kids themed murals. So those are a lot easier because it's not so detailed. You know, it's a lot of like color blocking and stuff like that. So for the urgent cares, it's actually 4 walls, and the doctor's offices aren't that big. So that only takes about 12 hours. And then if it's a bigger job, I'll usually stay in a hotel, so I'm not driving home and going back. But my typical days right now are like 12 hours, knock it out, come back home.
Sounds exhausting.
It is.
But fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like I said, I try to space them out to where I at least have like a day home in between, to where I'm not like completely exhausted by the end. Because, I mean, you know this too, like being a creative person, they think that your creativity just flows like it's nothing. But when you're tired, it's like my brain is done. Like at a certain point, I can't go anymore.
That is so true. Yeah, we would work all these crazy hours on long jobs, and I'd like after about 7 hours, I'm like, the anything that I was going to create that was really good, it needs to be done in the first 7 hours, and the rest is just like normal. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Okay, so if you could talk us through your painting process, are there any methods or techniques that you've picked up through the years? Like, do you use chalk first, or what's kind of your mural method?
Yeah, I definitely like using chalk first if I can. I heard you talk about the projectors, and that is like heaven sent, honestly. I did my mural job for like 2 years with not even knowing about a projector because, I mean, I never went to school. I never knew anything about this. So I would sit there and sketch everything out. And thank God I met this amazing artist here, Hans Geist. He's been doing this for years. And he's like, Kassie, we don't do that. He's like, it's okay to use a projector. And once I got a projector, that was like, I mean, it takes hours off of work. I mean, you know, like it takes hours off of the sketching process.
Yes.
I'm definitely all about that, all about the chalk. And then, so for what I wrote some notes here. That's why I keep looking down. But
me too. I've got some notes over here.
Good. For my painting process, I don't really have a process because I'm trying to stay open to like learning, just because I didn't go to school for it, and I feel like I always have so much to learn. So my 2019 resolution was that every mural I do, so say I'm doing like a forest theme, I make myself the night before YouTube another artist painting a forest theme, and I like take into how they're doing it. Because, I mean, I feel like all of us, no matter how much expertise we think we have, there's always something new to learn. So I'm trying to, like, learn different techniques, you know? Like, I mean, I've painted a million trees. And the other day I looked up how to paint a tree and saw someone doing it a whole nother way. And I did it for the customer, and they loved it. But I would have never done it that way. So for my painting process, I put just to stay open to, like, learning. And YouTube is like school itself. Like, you could find anything on YouTube. So I YouTube every mural I can. Like if it's on YouTube, I'll watch it and try to like take notes on it and try a different process every time. And it's been fun.
You make me want to do that now. I'm like, that's such a good idea.
Seriously. And sometimes you'll see it. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you'll find some that's like not what you would do. But honestly, I've learned a lot just from being open to learning from other artists, you know?
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm definitely going to do that now.
Yeah.
Actually, I did that last night, actually. Well, kind of.
Really?
I looked up, like, well, not like, so I don't look up to, like, videos of people painting. I'll look up different paintings and be like, oh, just to kind of see, like, what they did. Cause
I do that, too.
Last night, I was painting ice, and I was like, okay, I know it's not just like white and blue. Like what other things?
Right.
So I like printed out all this stuff. So that's okay, cool. Okay, so what's another one? What is the one thing you don't like to paint without?
I would say music. I try to get my GoPro rolling, but sometimes like the days are so long, I don't have time to like, if it dies or runs out of memory, I'm not even like going back for it. I just let it roll.
Yeah.
So I can't start painting without some sort of like upbeat music, because I just that gets me like in my zone, gets me focused. So I'll definitely say music.
Music. Okay. Yeah. That used to be mine. Have you ever tried to listen to like podcasts or Audible?
Yes,
when you're painting?
that too.
That's my like. Yes. That's my new like thing.
Oh yeah, so especially the traveling. Like I get so tired of listening to the radio traveling 5 hours. So definitely, I love podcasts, and the ones that you post, I do go listen to because I'm like, okay, I need new ones. Whenever you do post them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Awesome. Let's see. Do you have a favorite like book or podcast that you're into right now? I'm always taking suggestions.
Oh, you posted her, and I cannot think of her last name, but her first name's Rachel. Um,
Hollis. Yeah.
yes,
The,
yes,
the
she is
the
like my
girl
absolute
wash your face,
favorite.
right?
Yes,
Like she's so good.
she's
She's like just
so
tells it how
good.
it is. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah. So anybody watching this, go either read Rachel Hollis's
you
book
should. Yes,
or yeah, Girl Wash Your Face is amazing. Okay.
yes.
Are there any art lessons you've learned the hard way?
Oh my gosh. This one, like, I could go on for hours with this because honestly, I feel like we're probably all the same, especially working with murals because you're constantly learning like customer service and
Yeah.
you're kind of self-taught in that way. So it's like, I would say the biggest thing that I've learned is to stay away. This is probably going to sound mean, but I'm real, okay? So like, stay
Yeah.
away from penny pinchers because
Oh.
I'm sure we've all had them. They call and they're like, I want a mural, but my budget is really low and like I cannot go over this number. And I'm like, okay, but like you want this drastic thing and you don't want to pay for it, you know?
Yeah.
So in the past, I've done it, but they are always, 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 always the same people that'll be critical at the end. So if I'm like on an hourly rate, at the end, they're like, can you just add this? Can you just like come in and add this? And it's like, they try to squeeze anything out of you that you can. So
Yeah.
now that I'm like, I've learned my lesson with that, if they just tell me like, I'm not looking to spend a lot, but I want this, I just say no.
Yeah.
And so
You're
like,
yeah.
it's not even worth it. You know, like that's something that I've definitely learned the hard way. And I just leave so frustrated because you feel taken advantage of. And, you know, we know
Yeah.
how much our art costs to us. And so when people don't
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it, I would say just, it's not even worth the job, honestly.
So true. Yeah, so true. It's actually my fiance is really good about this because anytime anybody is like trying to cut me down, he's like, "Don't do it. Those are the ones that are going to be
Oh yeah,
just nitpicking and like all that." And
exactly.
I'm like,
It really
yeah,
is.
but
It's crazy.
yeah, it's like it hurts me to turn away business sometimes. So I'm like, no, like I want
Yeah,
to help you and I want to do it, but yeah, it's just not worth it. Such good advice.
no,
Awesome.
my husband's the same way. He's a project manager. So he's used to being like the boss. And so when he comes home and I ask him like his advice, he's like, this is what you have to do. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I got this. But yeah, I would
That's
definitely give
awesome.
that advice to anybody starting out or even like years in. Like some jobs are just not worth it.
Yeah. So one question. So you mentioned your husband. Do you ever like drag your husband out to help you do murals, or do you ever have a helper of any sort?
I have got him to come, but he's an engineer, okay? So like we're like
Yeah.
two different parts of the brain. So he works with numbers
Yeah.
and like perfect lines, and so he's not creative in the same way as me. So I brought him to do a logo thinking that he would be great at like the crisp lines, and I came back and he had painter's tape over the entire logo, okay? And he was using a little knife to cut out the letters out of tape. Like the whole wall was blue painter's tape. And so I kicked him
Bless
out and
him.
was like, yes. I was like, you are never coming to work with me again. So now I actually bring my dad. If you watch some of my videos, the man in the videos is my dad, and he's full-time with me now. So
That's
he comes on like
amazing.
all of my murals. Yeah, it's really fun.
Ah, that's amazing. So is your dad an artist? Like, is that where you inherited it?
No, he is not an artist.
No. Okay. No.
He calls
He's
himself my
trained.
bodyguard. Yeah, he's like, I just make sure that like no one like disrespects her, and he unloads my car, and he just kind of like color blocks, like fills things in, takes pictures.
Okay.
Like he's like the behind the scenes guy, but definitely
Yeah.
not an artist.
No, that's amazing.
No.
That's awesome.
Do you bring
Okay.
your fiance with you sometimes?
Oh, when I can talk him into it. If they're
Yeah.
if thing like all outline things, and I'm like, can you please fill this in? And he's so good. He's so eager to do really anything.
That's awesome.
But now I've started, yeah. Now, but he's busy doing other stuff or hunting or whatever
Right.
else he wants to
Oh,
do. So
my
I
husband
just
loves to
now-
hunt.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Are
Yes.
you guys going turkey hunting coming up?
Actually, we do not have turkeys here. We just
Oh.
have like deer and
Wait.
hog. Yeah, like we
Oh.
don't have any turkeys here. We actually we're living on 17 acres now of like woods. So he gets to hunt behind the house, and he's like in a little piece of heaven here. This is
Oh, I
his
bet. That is,
paradise.
like, Yeah, that is like that's like his dream basically is to just
Oh
buy
yeah,
like a certain set of acres and like you just said, be able to walk out in my backyard and be able to hunt right there. That's amazing.
exactly.
Okay, cool. We could probably talk for a long time about hunting.
Oh
So,
yes, we could.
um, so let's see. What do you have a favorite past project? So maybe one project that stood out more than others, one that was, or maybe had a great turnout, or
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
So actually my favorite mural project is I posted on Facebook probably 2 years ago that I would be traveling from Louisiana to Florida and back.
Oh,
And whoever was in the path, like on the coast, was going to be able to get a mural. So I literally just packed
oh,
my car and took off for like 3 weeks, I think, and went from South Louisiana all the way to Orlando and then back up the coast and ended up doing like 15 to 20 murals. And it wasn't
wow.
just one job, but it was so fun. Like I went by myself, stopped at beaches, like it was amazing. And
That's
I
so
met so many
cool.
awesome people. Yeah, it was really fun. Like it was kind of like scary for me because I had no idea what I was going to be doing. Like they literally just
Yeah,
called and was like, I need a princess theme. And I would just like take off to their house and paint like a princess theme.
that's my favorite theme.
Yeah, right? It was really fun. I ended up doing like, I found like an old restaurant that they wanted this big, like, it was like 30 or 35-foot wall mural outside their restaurant. And they fed me for like 4 or 5 days with this amazing like Southern country food. And I just painted and it was awesome. So that's definitely my favorite project is just taking off and like painting whatever.
That is so amazing. I'm so glad you came on here and talked about that. I'm so inspired by that. I'm like, maybe I can do that, or hopefully other
For
people are
real,
thinking
like
that. So cool.
yeah, and I mean I didn't charge like too much just because it was mostly
Yeah.
like bedrooms and small stuff, but it was just for the experience
Mhm.
for me to be able to like creatively just to be on the road and think like of a design and just do it. Like it really taught me so much
Yeah,
about that. So I would definitely that's definitely something you should try to do. It's so fun.
definitely. Yeah, you and that's so much experience too, and oh, that's so cool.
Exactly.
I'm
Okay.
gonna stalk you on Facebook later and like go check out your murals that you did on this journey. That's so cool.
Yes.
Let's see. What are your future art plans or goals? Like what's coming up? What are you excited about? What are the plans?
Yeah, so like I said, I have about 3 urgent cares a month coming up for the summer, probably into like August and September. And then I just got the job in Los Angeles for a like historic church. It's Angelus Temple. I
Ooh.
don't know if you've heard of it. Yeah, it's like in
Uh-uh.
downtown Los Angeles. And I'm doing like a historic mural on these 8 by 10 panels. And so they're shipping the panels to my house. I'm in my art studio now. Like we built a little studio outside of our house. And I'll be able to work from home and then fly to Los Angeles to set them up in the gallery. And so that is definitely like my biggest art job yet. And I'm super nervous
Wow.
and excited.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds amazing. That sounds
it's
ideal too. You get
crazy.
to create at home and then just go and set it up
Yes.
there. Oh, that sounds perfect. Yeah, we
We're
used to
still
work
in
with
like the revision process.
yeah, that's
Oh, go on.
amazing.
Sorry, I cut you
There's
off.
no, sorry, no, there's such a lag on this that it's like we don't
I
even know who's
know.
talking.
I know.
um, so yeah, we worked with some older muralists who had been doing it for years and years, and they said that they used to do it like that was like a primary way to just create murals. You create them in your studio, like on this canvas, and then you just
Hmm.
install it on the wall. I'm like, why aren't we doing that? That sounds amazing.
Exactly. I'm like, this sounds so awesome because at first I was going to be flying to Los Angeles every couple weeks. And I was like, it just seems like a
Yeah,
lot. Like it's going to take a toll on me. And then like creatively, I felt like I was going to be really tired. So they worked out something for me
yeah,
to be able to be home. So it's going to be awesome.
that's awesome. Um, let's see, Andrea Gilson commented. She's like, "That's so awesome. One of my goals is to make a studio in the back of my house." And I was just
Oh,
thinking the same thing, Andrea. That is so like in the
yes.
next house. That's like the
Let me
main
try to
thing
turn it.
that I want. I'm like,
This is it.
I'm
It's like
like,
a
oh my
barn
gosh,
building.
yeah.
Sorry,
There's
I
so
wanted to
much
show y'all a
space in
little bit.
there.
Yes,
No,
and I have
I
an
love it.
upstairs
Yes.
loft that like keeps all of my paint and everything perfect. Like it's like my dream spot. I never leave this place.
Oh, I wouldn't either. That's amazing.
No.
Okay. Um, is there any advice that you would give to artists who want to make art their full-time career but just don't know where to start? Like, where's a good just starting point for people who just like are still at their main job and just haven't like taken the leap yet?
I think you and Whitney had talked about this. Like in the beginning, you shouldn't really be looking to make a lot of money because until you have a portfolio, I mean, that's really like, that's your moneymaker is having a great portfolio and showing people your work. So, I mean, how I started out and how I would tell anyone to start out is just to offer jobs and try to say yes to everything. Even if it's something that you're like, I don't really feel like painting that, because we all have those jobs that we just don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But in the beginning, I think, saying yes to everything that you can really teaches you so much, and it helps build your portfolio pretty quickly. So I would definitely say that was good advice. Always stay teachable. Like I said in my YouTube videos, I'm 5 years in, and I feel like I have such a long way to go. But watching those YouTube videos has taught me so much about how other artists do it, you know? Which goes back to like staying teachable. And then I would say also to try to stay authentic, because I've seen a lot of artists that start out and like they'll see an artist that they like and they're like, I have to be just like them. And their art is almost the same, like it resembles it a lot. And I mean, that's not really going to help you stand out in the art world, you know? I mean, I know that you think you're doing well by copying someone else because you can do their work, but it's something about being authentic really speaks to people, you know? So I feel like just being you, trying to find something that's like exactly you. Like one of the best things that someone has ever told me is that they saw a mural and they tagged me and was like, did you paint this? Because it looked like something I would paint. So I'm like, I finally made it to a place where people say like, oh, Kassie painted that, you know? And I would say that it would be important for everyone just to stay authentic and try to do their own thing, you know, stay in your lane, and eventually you'll get to somewhere where people pay for your artwork that no one else can do, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Great advice. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So that is all the questions I have, unless you wanted to add anything or anybody has any questions in the comments. Let me just check on here. I think we've got most of them, but yeah, this is amazing. I'm so glad I got to talk to you, and thank you so much again for coming on. Everything you said, I love it, all of it, and that's inspiring. Just from your traveling and to just your leaving your job and then just getting started in the art world, I think it's so amazing. So
Oh, one more thing is the nonprofit. I totally forgot to talk about it, but that's like the best part of my job.
Okay.
So we started a nonprofit with other artists in Homa, in my city, and we paint murals for kids with cancer or different like disabilities. And it's totally free to the families.
My heart.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So like I started meeting these kids, just like working with the schools and stuff. And I was telling my husband, like, I just feel like I could totally go paint a mural in their room and be done in like a day. And so I found other artists that wanted to do it and never got like the push to just get it done. And so we started a nonprofit called Canvas for Kids. And we literally like haul all kinds of new room decor in their room, give them a new bed, new furniture, everything in like a day, and we roll out. And so it's like, if you want to see the Facebook page, it's Kassie's Canvas for Kids, and have Kleenex close, because like we do interviews with the families and the kids and like their reaction after, and it's so awesome. It really is.
Oh my gosh, I bet. Oh wait, so okay, so how is money raised for this, or how?
On the Facebook page, we do like live auctions. So our community just gives like gift cards or different like gifts and stuff, and we'll do an auction and all the money goes to it. But mostly people just donate through PayPal. Like we have a PayPal donation link on our Facebook page. Like our last house that we did, we took over their entire house. So the family went to Disney World, and we had 7 days to redo their entire house. Yes. And our community of Homa raised $15,000 to raise for this family, like in a few weeks. Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been wild.
Wow, that is I can't even imagine. Oh my goodness. That's a whole
Yeah.
nother I'm so glad you brought that up. That's so cool. I wouldn't even know where
It's
to start on something like that. Like,
yeah,
how
like
long
I
have you had
wanted to
that
tell
going?
you for about 2 years now, actually, and we've done, I would say, about 20 kids in the 2 year mark. And I mean, sometimes it's just a wall mural, and sometimes we just go all out. It depends on how the funds work. But I've gotten
Yeah.
calls. We got a call from the Ellen DeGeneres show, and blew my mind. And I missed the phone call.
Oh,
I
what?
thought that it was spam because who would call me from Los Angeles? This was like two
Yeah.
years ago at like close to 10 o'clock at night. So I was like, I'm not
Yeah.
going to answer it. And they left me a voicemail and I like almost passed out. And it was for Canvas for Kids. Like we've never really like contacted each other again. Like I've called and they've told me I'm on the list and like, you know how it goes.
Oh.
I mean,
Oh.
but
But
just to have
still.
the phone call meant everything. I mean, that was enough right there.
Yeah. I
But
mean that you never
it's
know.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gotten calls to like do this all over the country, but like we
Yeah.
don't have the funds to travel and there's so many kids here that need it. But I wanted to tell you about it because I mean, even all the artists on here, like anybody can post on Facebook, like send us a story of a needy child in our community and we'll go paint them a mural. Like it's really not hard to do and it just warms your
Yeah.
heart so much, you know? So
Yeah.
definitely something on your radar if you're ever interested.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll definitely keep that in mind. I'll also share it on all the social medias and yeah, to see who might be interested too. Okay, that's so cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll definitely hop on you said that there's a Facebook page that shows the murals that you've
Yes.
done for these kids? Okay.
Yeah, it's
It's
called
for
Cassie's
Canvas for
Canvas
Kids. Yeah, thank you so much again for coming on here, and I will post this to YouTube and everything, so you can share it to whoever you want. But yeah,
Awesome.
I'm so glad I got to virtually meet you. You exceeded my
Yes, you
expectations. I had
too.
no idea what to expect, and you just listened to
Oh
me,
my
and it's
gosh.
so inspiring.
Yes, you too. You
Yeah,
inspire me every day.
thanks. Yeah. All right, well, I will talk to you later. Thanks again.
All right. Bye, guys. Thanks.
This episode is sponsored by the Artist Academy Advanced Membership, a program for artists who want to up-level their art game by taking it from a hobby or a side hustle to a full-time art business. I've been a professional artist for over 5 years with paintings in several different countries and a client list that includes high-profile companies such as Bass Pro, O'Reilly's, Duck Commander, and many, many more. So I figured out what it takes to build an art business, and now my heart is set on teaching aspiring artists like you to do the same. Go to advancedmember.com, that's advancedmember.com to learn more. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Also, if you ever want to join us live and have your questions answered in real time by myself or featured guests, then just hop on over to facebook.com/groups/Artist Academy every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'll see you next week.